What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Fifth Corner, episode number 12. As you can see here, we are short-staffed. What was that?
Week 12.
Week 12. Week 12. Season's almost over. Playoffs are just around the corner, ladies and gentlemen.
That fast.
It's gone. It's weird.
Way too fast.
It's weird because last year was the first year of ever really covering the NFL season, and I feel like it didn't go by that fast. I feel like
Last year drag just seems like this year, summer would drag on the off season, and finally all of a sudden it's here, and bam, we're in week 12.
Yeah. This season, I don't know if it's the fact as well that we do a show for the NFL. Well, not for the NFL. I mean, maybe one day.
Yeah, we'll talk to Roger.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of fucking situate with Roger though before we ever sign a fucking contract with that scumbag there. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I guess this is the Thanksgiving episode. I don't know, we're not really in Thanksgiving attire. I think it's a fraudulent holiday to begin with.
Turkey Eve.
Topic for another day.
Yeah.
So John is out. He'll be back next week. You just got the Guru and I. And today we'll be talking about some stuff within the football world, and then afterwards we'll be getting to our Week 12 picks. I'm just going to start off with a question for you, Guru.
What do you got?
Are the Chiefs back? As of right now, they're riding high in a 4-game win streak. Currently 7-4, first in the AFC West.
Shit division?
No.
Come on.
You can't say it's a shit division. You can't.
Yeah, Chargers, Raiders.
You can't say that though. Let me pull up. I don't have here. Yeah, I got it right here. Oh, a shit division. First place 7-4, second place 6-4, third tied for third. Two teams with 5-5.
Yeah, the only reason why is because KC had some shit games, or else they'd be 9-2.
I mean, true. True, most definitely. But I mean, we also
Denver's 5-5. Vegas is 5-5. The only one Chargers are 6-4, and they've lost some shit games.
Oh, most definitely.
They shit the bed. They should be, if anything, the Chargers should be on top of the Chiefs the way the Chiefs have been playing, but they're still there.
Oh, most definitely. But I mean, I feel like we have to realize that when you look at those four teams, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, of course Chiefs should be leading by miles, right?
Right.
So it definitely shows that the slow start to the Chiefs season has definitely fucked them over. And also, I feel like we kind of have to acknowledge that the three other teams, I mean, I think the only other team that can really make a run for first place right now are the Chargers. I feel like Raiders are going to get dumped with some stupid L's on the road to the end of the season there. But I think that, it's a vulnerable division this year.
Well, you look at the conference overall, you got Tennessee leading at 8-3. Then you got to go all the way down to Cleveland, which is 6-5. Mm-hmm. That's only 2 games.
Oh, yeah.
And that's dividing, 8-9 teams.
No, yeah, I definitely think that not really the NFC, because the first wild card slot as of right now are the Los Angeles Rams, and after that it's about a 2-game difference. But I would say right now the AFC is kind of a clusterfuck.
Yeah, it's up for grabs.
Yeah, you got a lot of teams at 7. You got a couple teams around 7-4. 7 wins. Obviously, like you said, Titans with an 8-win season so far. But I mean, looking at other teams here, I mean, Patriots, they're now running with the AFC East at 7-4. Bills are behind 6-4. You got the AFC North where the Browns are the last seed, but they're a 6-5 record, for crying out loud.
The Patriots are third in the conference.
Yeah, no one saw that come out. I don't think so. Maybe John did. If he was here, he would have said that.
I've been warning everybody the last few weeks.
But no, I mean the AFC. It's weird, but I feel like looking forward for the Chiefs' schedule this week, they're on a bye, Week 12, Week 13 in Arrowhead against Denver, Week 14 in Arrowhead against the Raiders, Week 15 in SoFi against the Chargers, Week 6 in Arrowhead against Pittsburgh, Week 17 in Cincinnati, and then Week 18 in Denver.
They went out.
I don't think so.
Which game are they going to lose?
I'm not going to say it's
Chargers?
I definitely think the Chargers could win that game, most definitely, because if you look at the history of Justin Herbert running with the Chargers, those games have been close so far.
But see, it's hard to say because in that stretch, who's going to get injured? What teams are going to lose guys?
Most definitely,
what teams are going to be banged up? Who's going to make it through?
I feel like you're shooting in the dark with that theory, though. I feel like it's kind of hard to predict injuries, though.
Yeah, it's hard to predict injuries, but injuries happen.
They do, but
that's what I'm saying. That's why you look at this. You got a clusterfuck of a league right here.
Oh, most definitely.
That's up for grabs, and a lot of that's because of injuries, and a lot of that's because of these crazy wins.
Oh yeah, and
and crazy losses.
I feel like the injuries. I mean, I don't think injuries are playing that much of a role, really. I mean, with the Ravens, maybe because obviously, I mean, not really because they fucking won last week. They won with, I forget who their quarterback was, but it wasn't Lamar. So it's like, and I mean, you look at it, injuries don't really matter. Look at the Cardinals; they're 9-2. Haven't had Kyler in a couple weeks. Colt McCoy's fucking kicking the damn show.
They barely beat the Bears by 3 points.
Still won though. Still won.
But
the Ravens still won that game.
Did you think they'd cover?
I think they'd cover.
We all thought they'd cover 6.
But I also went in the game with Lamar playing. I didn't see him not playing at all.
Right, so.
But no, I mean, I feel like. So, do you think that the Chiefs are back after a 3-4 start to the season?
I think they are because
they are the favorites.
They got a soft schedule. If they dump, what you got 5 weeks left or 6 weeks left. Because we're in week 12.
Yes, so they have 6 games.
They got 6 games left. If they split, if they go 500 on those 6 games, they're 10-7.
I don't.
But I don't think they're going to do that.
No, I don't think so. I think
they're easily 11-6.
I mean, I think here's the thing. Each matchup that they have, obviously 2 against Denver, 1 against Vegas, 1 against the Chargers, 1 against Pittsburgh, 1 against Cincinnati. I could see them losing to the Chargers. I could see them losing the Steelers because of that defense that the Steelers have.
Those are 2 games. So they dumped those 2 games. They're still 12-5.
No, they would be 11-6.
Or 3. Yeah, they got 6 games left. They'd be 11-6.
I mean, I think it's doable. I think that's definitely a playoff record. But the thing is, it's so interesting because, like, me nitpicking the AFC West and the AFC North right now, like, the worst team out of those 2 divisions is a 5-5 team, for crying out loud.
That's 5. I know, at 500.
Yeah, so it's like I feel like from this point on till when we look at what the true playoff picture is, come time end of the season, at the end of whichever week 18 now we get, I feel like it's interesting because looking at an 11-6 record, I feel like that might be a wild card slot, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that might not win the division.
It's weird because it's like, because right now, I don't know if you found out or heard, Chiefs are favorited to win the Super Bowl with the plus 600 odds right now. They're back at the top, which I think is a little bit too premature.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's a little bit premature with how some other teams are. Granted, though, I mean,
however, I might put a little bit of money on that, but
I think it's a good bet.
But you look at all those games that you talked about. You got Chargers, Vegas, and Denver in their division. Those are all divisional games.
Yeah, and I feel like if
those are the ones. So if they win those divisional games, they gain those games on those teams.
Yeah, and I feel like if they're gonna win any of these games to finish off their season, I feel like you just have to win those.
Yeah, it's time to separate themselves from the rest of the people in the division.
Yeah, and I feel like doing that, and I mean, granted, it helps out because their next 3 is Denver, Vegas, Chargers.
For sure.
Take a 3-game lead right there, depending on how the other teams do in those other weeks. Oh, maybe.
Now you're 10-4.
Maybe
you got that separation.
Maybe this Chiefs dynasty isn't over. Maybe we're below.
I think they could easily still win this division.
Oh, I think they could easily still win the division. Winning the AFC, I feel like that's a topic for another day, an interesting topic, because I don't think it's out of the equation. Because looking at it, you have the Bills, who I know we don't have the fraud jar yet, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be next week when John comes back, because he has been the main perpetrator for said word. But I feel like when you look at teams like the Bills, the Patriots, the Ravens, the Bengals, Tennessee, Indianapolis, and then Kansas City Chargers, I took the top 2 teams from each division. I think the Chiefs could easily win a playoff game against the majority of those.
Sure.
And I don't know. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how the AFC pans out with that stuff. But yeah, Chiefs, they're back. 4-game win streak. They're scary. Bye week this week, so it'll be interesting to see if that just puts them all up to 100%, and then they make a run for it.
That could be just what they needed, too, is that bye week.
So another news that we kind of talked about, obviously, Cam Newton, he has signed with the Panthers. Ever since then, I'm pretty sure their record is, they're 1-1. They beat the Cardinals, and then obviously lost to the Washington football team. As of right now, the Panthers sit 5-6.
Then they beat the Bears.
What?
They've had 3 games since he's been back? Or no, 2 games.
2 games,
okay.
yeah. As of right now in the NFC South, Panthers are in third with a 5-6 record. As of right now, it goes Buccaneers 7-3, Saints 5-5, Panthers 5-6, Falcons 4-6. Let me pull up Cam Newton's individual stats right now. But the question I want to ask you, Guru, is with him kind of, it's looking like a good mesh so far. It's a good comeback that's happening right now. Just to give off some stats right here, he is not a lot of action in the Cardinals game because that was his first week, still getting used to it. But in totality of those two games, he is 24 for, I got to do math real quick, fuck my head. 24 for 31 right there. Almost 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, got a couple rushing touchdowns as well here. Do you think that Cam Newton could help them get to a wild card slot?
It's possible because, especially now, Cam Newton, he's got to resurrect his career a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Patriots dumped him. Nobody wanted him. Panthers had their problems with that quarterback. Boom, they pick him up. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to give him another try. And it worked before.
Oh, yeah.
And could it work? Is he playing that good where he's going to want to sign? If he has a good year right now, maybe sign a contract for a few years.
Yeah.
With the Panthers and nobody else wants him.
Yeah.
So that's one thing you got to watch out. He's going to start playing. If he starts playing better ball, which he's playing decent right now, who knows what could happen?
Yeah, because as of right now, when it's looking like for the wild card pitcher in the NFC, we have the Rams at 7-3 in the 5th slot. We have Vikings 5-5 in the 6th spot. We have Saints 5-5 in the 7th spot, which closes out the wild card slots. And after that, it's still like 5-5, and then obviously Panthers and Eagles are tied at 5-6. So technically, they're only about a game out of it. Game and a half, however you want to do the damn math there, of being in the 6th slot, the second wild card team.
Yeah. There's not too much to separate right there.
And I mean, with Christian McCaffrey back as well, too, that old duo, I mean, it's looking pretty decent right now.
He only rushed for 52 yards last week, but he put up like 60-some receiving yards in that touchdown. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting, and I know I alluded to it earlier how there's just that cluster of the NFC teams right now for that wild card slot. And I feel like, here, let me look at what their foreseeable future is.
See, Cam Newton needs McCaffrey there so they can set up play action passes, stuff like that. That's going to help him. Without McCaffrey, I don't know. I think we wouldn't do as well.
Looking at their schedule, it'll be interesting because this week they are playing in Miami right now. Week 13, they're on a bye. Week 14, they play against Atlanta. Week 15, Buffalo. Week 16, Tampa. Week 17, New Orleans. And then they round out their season against Tampa.
That's 4 tough games at the end.
It is. And I feel like
they could pick up a win in the Dolphins, grab that bye week, another win, but then those last 4, and you got to play Tampa Bay twice. That's going to be tough. Oh,
yeah. Looking at it right now, of course, it all depends on how other teams do within that window of time as well. But that's not the 4-game stretch you want to end the season.
No, especially with Tampa Bay twice. You got to beat them. You got to split those 2 games. You got to beat them at home for sure. You don't want to lose 2 of those.
Yeah, and I feel like the thing that might help them out with that is their first game that's played on December 26th is home against Tampa Bay. So they end up closing their season out in Tampa Bay. I feel like heading into that final game right there, I feel like you want at least 3 wins under your belt. Because you can suffer 2 losses maybe.
And the only thing that they're going to have going for them is if Tampa Bay's already got that first-round bye locked in,
yeah,
the number 1 seed, then maybe they lay off, sit some of their starters, and Cam Newton go in there and beat the second-string players.
Yeah, and I feel like it's definitely doable. But at the same time as well, it's interesting because with the Buccaneers' defensive, problems lately, obviously some of their players are coming back from injury.
Right.
But that team, the defense is still vulnerable a bit, I would say right now.
They're not as good as defenses last year, not at all, especially against the rush.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see, and it seems like you speak on the rush there. It seems like that when Cam Newton is in there, they kind of love to run a rushing theme going on.
Absolutely. There, you got Cam Newton and McCaffrey, and if you get a defense a little bit soft on the rush, that could help out his passing game, and who knows, they could squeak away. If they beat the Bucs twice, I'd be surprised. But that last one, if they sit a lot of their starters, like I say, you got to win that game because it might come down to the last couple games if they're going to get in or not.
Oh yeah. I feel like we're kind of going to be in a realm of where once we get to like week 16, week 17, week 18, it's going to kind of all come down to about like 4 or 5 teams to play.
I think there's going to be a lot of teams vying for playoff spots, and those last 2 weeks, you're going to see some really good games.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
It's so close right now and bunched up. I think it's going to do that right to the end.
I mean, it's insane to see because, granted, I mean, after you have the 7-3 Rams, that's when it goes to a bunch of 5-win teams in the NFC. But looking at switching over back to the AFC real quick, I mean, shit, you basically have a 2-game difference between the first seed and the last seed in the AFC right now. Game and a half, 2 games, however you want to pin it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a wild finish, ladies and gentlemen, with only about 6 weeks left right now. I mean, I will say a little tidbit here before we get into picks pretty soon here. Cardinals, of course, we said we have to see what happens in the second half of the season. Second half is here. Obviously, they haven't had Kyler in a while, but they're winning. They're 9-2 right now.
I know.
Are the Cardinals legit? Because I know earlier on we were like, we'll give it time.
No, I think they're legit. I mean,
would you label them a Super Bowl contender?
You look at that record. That's hard to say because it's been a while since they've been in the playoffs, since they went to an NFC Championship game. So, are they going to have the mental stamina, the physical stamina to be able to do that? Because they're going to have to go up against the Saints, who's always there, or the Packers, who was always there. Mm-hmm. So, are they ready for that test? That's going to be the ultimate test right there. If they can get in the playoffs, they can knock off a Saints team, a Green Bay team, however it lines up, then who knows? That's where you're going to see how good this team is.
Here, let's see. If playoffs ended right now, obviously they're number 1 seed, so it'd have to so you have to skip a week there. But let's say the lowest seed right now that they go up against is the Saints.
The only ones that can beat the Saints in the playoffs is the Vikings.
That is very true right there. And the Vikings are in the playoff picture too right now.
Yeah,
They're a seed ahead of the Saints right there, so that helps them out.
But see, that's going to be a tough game, and that game obviously would be in Arizona.
Correct. Yes.
So they have that going for them too. You know, now you're on your home turf. You're playing a home playoff game. That's a must-win situation if you're going to be a legit contender.
No, yeah, and it's funny because looking at the NFC playoff picture right now, if the playoffs were to end right now, I feel like we'd have a lot of interesting matchups where we wouldn't really know where to go with them.
Right.
I mean, you got the Packers starting off with the Saints. Obviously, Packers have been on a run, but let's not forget that the Saints embarrassed them this season.
That could be the revenge game right there if it happens.
Obviously, injuries have kind of screwed over the Saints in recent memory. After you got Buccaneers and Vikings, or is Kirk Cousins the damn...
Kryptonite.
He is the kryptonite.
Kryptonite.
Also, a little fun tidbit. Did you know that it's called the Kirk Cousins curse? I learned it after they beat the Packers last week. Did you know that no team that has lost to Kirk Cousins within a season has made it to the Super Bowl?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So if Kirk Cousins on your schedule and you're lose
fucked.
to him, Aaron Rodgers not going to the Super Bowl now. John's prediction's done.
You're done. It's over.
And then here's the most interesting game out of it, though. Cowboys-Rams.
That is going to be an interesting game.
That I feel like we will get that playoff matchup one way or another come time.
And that's
January.
going to, right there, you're going to have 2 good teams going at it. Are the Rams for real? Are they going to be able to make that step? Can Matt Stafford win some, so with his new team, you're going to get in the playoffs. You got to win that. If he goes to the first playoff game, if he loses,
it won't sit well.
It's not going to sit well with the LA fans.
Oh, no, not at all.
Right now.
Not at all.
Because they see what he did in Detroit. You couldn't win a game there. Now you went with this little super team that's been building up that defense, adding all these pieces. You ain't got no excuse. You got to win that first playoff game. Now, if you go deep, you lose the second one, so be it. But if he gets there, he must win that first playoff game for his resume.
I agree with you on that. I feel like
that's a must-win game for him.
I mean, I definitely agree with you that the first game in that wild card, because as of right now, if the Cardinals continue their winning ways, that's what the Rams will be in, is the wild card slot. I feel like that first game is a must-win, and I know you said that if they lose the second, then albeit then, I still feel like with how much the Rams have basically, I mean, Grant, like their Twitter account said after the Von Miller thing, all in. It wouldn't sit. I feel like with the Rams, it's championship or bust. In all honesty, I feel like with this little selected window that they have now with Matthew Stafford,
at least, yeah, because they're going all in definitely. At least they got to get to that NFC.
Oh, 100%.
The conference game, championship
100%.
game. They have to. And now, if they end up being a wild card, that's kind of like a buy-in game.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to beat that buy-in game to get into the tourney, basically.
Yeah.
So they win that one. You almost could make a case for Stafford needs to win 2, and then he'll be vying for that conference championship.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing that I'm most intrigued to see about Stafford this season, because going back to it was either week 3 or week 4 when he went up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Granted, it's just a typical midday 4 o'clock Sunday game. People are labeling that as like probably Stafford's like probably the biggest game of his career. And I feel like with the Rams, we're going to be experiencing a lot of those. So I'm interested to see that if the Rams do win and progress in the playoffs, how much pressure will Matthew Stafford be feeling?
Oh,
because I also feel like this. Look at here. If we were dealing with the Matthew Stafford in like year 5, coming off a rookie contract, he's getting the fuck out. I feel like it would be different with expectations. But the fact he's about over a decade deep into this thing right now, you're on it. You got gifted a super team. You got to fucking make it work.
And that's just it. He's with Detroit, and he goes into playoffs and he loses. Everybody's like, well, you play for the Lions.
Yeah.
The Lions are not. You could have Bart Starr as your quarterback. You ain't gonna make the play. You ain't gonna win a playoff game.
Yeah.
You know, you could have Patrick Mahomes. You're not gonna make a playoff game because you're playing for the Lions.
Yeah.
Now that he's with the Rams, those expectations are higher. You can't use that excuse.
No, you can't.
Oh, I lost the game. Well, they play for the Rams.
Yeah.
Oh, that super team out of L.A.?
Yeah. I literally told people...
So there's a lot of more pressure on them now than it was in Detroit.
I told people after the Odell signing, I said, no matter what happens...
Which sucks. I don't like that.
It was a weird move. I mean, personally, as a fan, I love it because, of course, stack it up at the same time, you know. I mean, it helped out with the Robert Woods injury, I will say. I guess it softened the blow a little bit.
Yeah, that's the only reason why they did it, probably. But, until he starts to find something to complain.
But no, I told people that if the Rams do not win it all, or at least don't meet some sort of high expectations this year, I will allow all the slander. I'll allow it. Because it shouldn't happen.
Odell needs to change his hair color, blue and yellow.
I would be fine with that. Did you know that DK Metcalf has had more hair colors this season than the Seahawks have wins?
I believe that. Seahawks suck.
Yeah, I think he's had 6 and they only have three wins.
Now, see, that was another thing we talked about. Is this, not to change subject, but is this the end of the Seahawks era?
100%.
Is it happening? Are they imploding?
I think it is. I think we're living through it. And it's tough to watch. It's hard to see happen, but I feel like we just have to accept it. It's here. Seahawks suck.
Now, is it, they still got a great receiving core. You got the injury to Russell Wilson. However, you're back from injury. But even before that, you weren't that good. We were trying to see what you were doing. You won a few games, you lost a few games. But now it looks like they're imploding over there in Seattle.
Well, did you know that in the first quarter against the Cardinals, he only had 1 pass attempt?
Yeah.
It's fucking brutal out there in Seattle. It makes no sense. And I know I alluded to it in like the preseason episode for this show. I said, is this finally the time the Seahawks fall?
Right. And the thing, it always came down to that defense. That defense carried that offense.
Oh, for many
more
years.
than the offense carried the defense.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you don't have that defense anymore. You got to count on your offense.
And the offense
make
ain't
it just
up
that much harder, and they ain't doing it.
No, yeah. It is brutal to see there, and I'm intrigued to see how, because obviously they're 3-7 right now, and I'm interested to see how the season progresses with that record right there.
They're going into Washington this week.
Yeah. And speaking of that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a brief pause, but after that, we will be getting to our Week 12 picks. The overall standings, we're getting fucking close, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting close.
The guru is the non-guru right now. I'm getting beat up.
You're only 3 games out, though. We'll get into it more in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Week 11 was not that great of a week. Little disclaimer right here. I do not have John's stats right now. Those will be updated for next episode here. But as of right now, between the Guru and I, Week 11, not pretty for both of us. Guru finished off 6-9. If you're Urban Meyer, you love those 2 numbers together.
Yes, he does.
I finished 5-10. And the overall standings right now, ladies and gentlemen, I had probably a phenomenal lead above 500 forever. I'm 83-81-1 now.
I think at one point you were up 7 or 8 games.
I
cut it to 3.
You did. No, yeah. You are now only down by 3. It is an 80-84-1 record for you right there.
And that's just going with a shit 6-9 week.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing
still under 4 games under 500 for the Guru.
Yeah, but the thing that doesn't help is we've all had shit weeks. So it's like that's where we're just kind of, we're getting all fucked up right here. All right, it's not a fun time to be picking at all.
That's why I put on a new hat today. Change my luck.
I don't know if the camo will.
Shout out to Catching Deers, Mike Fisher.
No free shout outs. Fucking send us a damn money for that.
You too, bud.
What?
Bud Fisher's brother.
Oh, okay.
Rut Daniels.
I'm not in that shit. Anyway, let's start off with the Thanksgiving slate of games right there. We have Chicago Bears heading into Detroit. Bears -3.
I got a question before we get into this.
Shoot your shot.
When did the fucking Lions sign this Thanksgiving game contract? And why the fucking one of the worst, consistently the worst teams in the NFL year after year after year, and they get to host the Thanksgiving game and the whole fucking nation is watching them lose? How'd that happen?
The Fords probably signed a blood oath with the devil. I don't know.
Jeez. Must have been during the Barry Sanders days or something, because everybody just wanted to see Barry Sanders.
Well, it had to. It had to be. Well, no, wait. There's actually a reasoning I heard about. I watched a video years ago where they actually explained why the Lions are always on.
We'll have to look that up.
Always on Thanksgiving games or whatever.
We'll do that research and read that next week for you.
But no, yeah, Bears -3. That's what I'm going with. I don't. It's the fucking Lions. I will say a lot of these picks. I always dread the one that always involves the Lions. I just don't get it right no matter what.
That's why the Lions make you drink.
They do. It's fucking sickening. It's cruel to me, and I'm not even a fan of theirs.
Now, let me ask you: are the Lions going to win a game this year?
They will. It'll happen.
Is it this game on Thanksgiving versus a divisional opponent?
No. It's not.
I don't think so either. I'm taking the Bears -3, but you know what? I'll bet you I'll be fucking drinking tomorrow when the fucking Lions cover this fucking 3 and they beat them outright.
We'll be taking a couple shots if that does happen right there.
This game with this close a line, because I think this is one of the closest lines they've had this year. This just screams that the Guru's getting drunk tomorrow because the Lions are going to fucking win.
I'll admit, I'll take a push out of this. If they push, I'll be fine. If they lose by a field goal, I'll take it. Fuck it. At least I didn't lose the damn pick.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I'll take it. But it frightens me. Talking about the Lions, it frightens me because I feel like I know what I'm saying, but
scary.
they prove me wrong.
Yeah, they screw you. So, yeah, Bears -3.
The second Thanksgiving game, we have the Las Vegas Raiders going into another team that kind of side of... Jerry Jones definitely signed a blood oath to be on Thanksgiving every fucking year.
Oh, yeah.
Cowboys -7. It's an interesting line right there. I'm taking Raiders +7.
You know, I've heard a lot of talk about people don't like this line. They think the Raiders are going to keep it close. But it's Thanksgiving, national TV. I don't think so. I think the Cowboys are going to cover this touchdown. They have to against the Raiders. But everybody's saying this is going to be one of the bounce-back games for the Raiders.
I think so. Because I feel like the Raiders have been a little bit too under the radar as of lately.
Right. But
they're kind of doing their own thing.
We like when we got different picks because that's how I claw back to the top.
No, yeah. So, and last week there weren't really, I think there was only one that you obviously gained a game on, which was the Dolphins and Jets game.
Jets.
But no, yeah, so to round out the Thanksgiving slate of games, we have the Buffalo Bills heading into New Orleans. New Orleans is becoming a team that's fucking on Thanksgiving every year. I don't know why. Yep. I accept it, though. This is a weird line for the sole fact that I don't know who the Bills are, and at the same time I don't know who the Saints are. But for the Saints there, you're out. You don't have your main quarterback. I heard Taysom Hill signed a fucking outrageous deal, but he can only get the money if he plays quarterback.
Sean Payton loves Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But also I found out as well, hurting my fantasy team, but Alvin Kamara is out tomorrow. So I'm taking Bills -6.
See, that bothers me, Kamara being out.
It does.
Because...
And Mark Ingram is questionable, so he might not even be playing.
And the Bills just got their ass fucking smoked at home last week.
Yes.
Bad. Now they got to travel to New Orleans. Is this a bounce-back game for the Bills?
I think so.
But even with everybody being out on that team and being up on the Saints at home getting 6, fucking give me them points. I'm taking them.
I need it. Wait. Oh, you're taking Saints +6?
Yep. I want the points at home. Fuck it.
That's interesting right there. So let's fast forward now to the Sunday slate of games. Starting off, we have the Falcons -1.5 in Jacksonville to go up against the Jaguars and Urban Meyer.
Coach.
Fuck that guy. I'm taking Falcons -1.5. Falcons. Yeah, Falcons are kind of coasting. Jags, I'm still not certain on them. They're a team. This could easily be a game that finishes 8-6.
It could.
This game, the ceiling and the floor for the Falcons is kind of embarrassing if you're a Falcons fan. I don't know what you would expect from them.
The Jags scored 10 points against the Niners last week.
I mean, didn't the Niners blow them out, though?
Yeah, 30-10.
Yeah, I was about to say right there.
The Falcons have screwed me over this year. Betting with, betting against. Jags are at home. The +1.5, I'd like to have it more. At least 3 for a person that's close, but you know what? Give me the Jags. I think they're going to beat the Falcons outright.
Really?
Calvin Ridley's still out too, isn't he?
He actually could be coming back. Allegedly. Allegedly. Nothing is certain. Nothing is not certain. We don't know yet. So after that, keeping it in the state of Florida, we have Cameron Newton going into Miami with the Panthers at -2. Cam is back, ladies and gentlemen. Superman is back. The dabbing Superman is back. Give me Panthers -2. Dolphins, you fucking suck. You suck. I'm sorry, I hate to say it.
Right now we got 3 different picks, don't we? This is going to be an interesting week.
Correct, we do, yes.
I could be going to the top, taking the lead.
Well, as of right now, it would just be a tie. As of right now, it would just be a tie.
I also agree Panthers -2. I think they can cover that. Even though the Dolphins are a surprising team sometimes. But I'm going to stick with the Panthers. I'm with you on that one.
Afterwards, we have the toilet bowl, I guess is the best way of putting it.
Bowl.
If this is the only game that you get on your local channels, I apologize to you. Hit up the nearest bar. There might be Sunday ticket on there. I don't know yet.
There's a high school game going, something you can watch?
I think that'd be better to watch than this shit. We got the Jets going up against the Texans. Texans -2.5. The Jets are the Jets. The Jets are beat up. I'm taking Texans -2.5. Tyrod Taylor woke the fuck up last week. That leaky lung is not bothering him one bit. I think they do it.
I'm going to go...
And especially after a huge win last week. The Texans had an upset win.
This one, I don't know. It's a toss-up. I got the Jets +2.5. I'm taking them against the Texans. That last week was a fucking fluke.
I don't know about that.
That was a fluke.
Technically, those two teams have both beaten the Titans, though, so was it really a fluke?
Yeah, it was a fluke.
So after that, let's go on to a battle of the NFC East. We have the Eagles at -3.5 going up against the Giants of New York. This one I was very skeptical on. I know it seems like this year that if the Giants are the underdogs, they usually do well. But for some reason, the Eagles was fucking calling me on this, so I might regret it in the morning on Monday. I'm going to Eagles -3.5.
Good, because Danny Dimes is giving you another fucking chance. I took you last week, you didn't cover it.
That was just a bad one to take last week. That was not smart. It wasn't smart.
It wasn't. It was one of those surprising games that
the
I thought...
Buccaneers...
I knew they wouldn't lose, but I thought they would keep it close. Keep it within 10, you're a fucking winner.
You know,
the line was 11.5.
You know when it comes to the Giants, Tom Brady takes it a little bit personal.
Well, anyway, he does. But I'm taking that 3.5, because even if it comes down to a field goal, that half point might put you over the top. Good. Give me the G-men again, and do it this time.
After that, we have a battle within the AFC North. We have the Steelers traveling to Cincinnati to go up against the Bengals. The line is at... You only got that on your list?
I forgot to write that one down.
You're A-okay. We'll be writing it down right now. Bengals have a -4.5 line at
Cincinnati?
Home in Cincinnati. This one I actually was waiting to do for the show because I feel like this one can go either way. The Steelers' offense, I'm not a believer in. Their defense, I'm a believer in. For Cincinnati, the offense, I'm a believer in.
Is Ben playing?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't matter. Big Ben, hang it up. It's time. You've had a good
Crosby
career.
Playing?
Who?
Mason Crosby.
He's on the Packers.
Is he? No.
Oh, Mason Rudolph?
Mason Rudolph.
He might.
Mason Rudolph.
He might. I don't know. That fucker... They... Well, no. Oh, no. You remember Dwayne Haskins?
Yeah.
I guess he was their backup last week, like he was supposed to, but he got pulled out of the game because he was on his phone an hour before kickoff.
Dwayne Haskins sucks. He fucked up his career.
But yeah, Dwayne Haskins is kind of done.
But he sucked anyway.
Now.
He really didn't have a career.
Yeah, he wasn't that great.
Right. What do you got?
I don't know. I'm gonna let you take this one.
Oh fuck! Why do you do that?
I'm gonna let you. I want to see how the fucking other people on this show.
Aren't the Bengals coming off a bye?
The Bengals are they? They are? No, they're not. They beat the Raiders last week.
Well, they did.
The only
Pretty
thing,
good too.
The only thing that's fucking me over on this thing is the Steelers' defense being somewhat stout.
4.5 line.
That's
I see it lower.
That's a steep line too. That's a steep one.
What did Steelers do last week?
Steelers last week they covered, but they lost.
They covered and lost though.
Lost by 4. They lost by 4.
What a 37 against the Chargers. Fuck it, I'm going Steelers. Give me the points. Forcing your hand now.
You know, I'm not going to go Bengals just
Big Dick Joe, here it comes.
No, I'm going Steelers plus 4.5.
Chicken.
I don't... The 4.5 line for the Bengals being minus 4, that's a little bit too steep for my liking.
Watch the Bengals blow them out by 20.
It's going to fucking happen now. Oh, most definitely it's going to happen that way. So moving on here. Obviously, we were speaking about Tom Brady a minute ago. Buccaneers minus 3 going into Indianapolis. Buccaneers minus 3.
Bucks.
Yeah, easy. Afterwards, we have the Titans going into Foxborough, hopefully for a bounce-back win. They're going up against the Patriots, they're on fire. They're ready to take over the AFC once again. Line is at minus 6 for Patriots. Too steep. I'm going Titans plus 6. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm not saying Titans are going to win out necessarily, but I think plus 6 they can cover.
Titans lost to the Jets, and they lost to the Texans.
They did.
The 2 worst fucking teams in the league.
Agreed.
Right?
I would agree
Next
with
to
that.
the Lions. They don't play the Lions. But if they were, the Lions might beat them.
Oh, I think Lions can beat those 2 teams.
But you're in Foxborough. It's fucking November, week 12. Patriots, I'm laying a 6. They're playing good football.
They are. That might be one that bites me in the ass, I will admit it, but I feel like I don't know, I'm at the point in the season where I was too loose early on with the big lines, and now I kind of have to be a little bit crucial because we're getting a lot of close games this year.
We are.
We're getting a lot of
Ton
close
of games.
Yeah, it's fucking
Vegas
bullshit.
must be cleaning up.
After that, we have an AFC West matchup. My apologies there. We have Chargers going into the Mile High City of Denver to face the Broncos. Line is Chargers minus 3. This is my moral lock right now. I'm taking Chargers minus 3.
Are you?
Yeah.
I got Broncos plus 3. Give me the points in Mile High.
No, I don't like it.
The air's going to be too fucked up for the Chargers.
Chargers,
Gonna
they're
be
completely
cold.
fine right there. They're fine right there.
Coming back from L.A., where it's nice and warm and toasty in our new pretty stadium.
They're fine right now.
Give me the Broncos.
Afterwards,
Sound me Broncos.
we have the first ever half-a-point line. We have Rams going into Green Bay to face the Packers.
This is
true test.
This is a pick 'em, even on a lot of books.
Yeah. I'm taking Rams plus a point, plus half a point.
I, too, am taking that half a point.
Yeah. I like it.
Because if it comes down to a tie, we're winners.
No, yeah, exactly. So, I mean...
Yeah, I think the Packers, they're talking about Aaron Rodgers with a foot injury. And if that Rams defense, Aaron Donald, they can get to the quarterback and he's got to run out of that pocket, I think he's going to have problems.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, as soon as I say something like that, Aaron Rodgers does Aaron Rodgers fucking things.
Yeah.
Like he always does.
Now, let me ask you this question
and
here.
It is in Lambeau. That's the only thing I don't like.
I know, I don't like that either. Yeah, because obviously Rams, they're kind of in more higher temperature environments when they're playing football.
But now, is Aaron Jones playing?
No, he's still out. Last I heard,
he's out for sure. I saw him as questionable on fantasy.
Last I saw as well, I have A.J. Dillon in fantasy, and he's projected to get like 18 this week. So that only means one thing: if you're getting projected that much, you're the starter. I still think with Aaron Jones, Rams do it. I think Rams defense. I feel like the Rams coming off some embarrassing losses.
I'm almost leaning towards Packers if Aaron Jones is going to come back.
And if you would like to do that, you can change it. We allow changes before the games on this show now. We do.
I'm going to put a check mark next to the Packers. We'll see about Aaron Jones. I'll put AJ.
Before we finish off our last 3 picks, so I want to ask you a question about this game. Of course, the Cardinals are at the top of the NFC. You got the Buccaneers. You can make the conversation for the Cowboys. Does this game show who the best team in the NFC is? Winner of it.
Rams, Packers?
Yeah.
No.
Because I feel like no matter what, it's coming down to either those 2 teams or the Buccaneers to win the NFC.
If the Rams go into Lambeau and win this game and beat up on the Packers a little bit, that's going to be a real great on their resume this year.
Oh, 100%.
That's going to be probably the biggest. This is probably going to be the biggest. If they pull it off, it'll be the biggest win of the season so far for the Rams.
Agreed.
So, and that's going to put them up a few notches. Not, they might put it up where, okay, we just beat the Packers. Okay, Tampa Bay, what do you got? Mm-hmm. They're going to flex their muscle a little bit if they beat them.
Reminder, they
if it
also
goes
beat
the
the
other
Buccaneers, too. They also beat the Buccaneers this season early on.
Right, they did beat the Bucs early on. But coming down to crunch time, if it goes the other way, the Packers, they could flex their muscle too.
Oh, yeah.
Because these 3 teams, we always said Rams, Packers, Cardinals, Tampa Bay was our 4. So, yeah, these are flex muscle games right here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not necessarily going to say that the winner of this wins out the NFC, but I feel like the hierarchy of the NFC will become a little bit clearer after that game.
Sure, I'd agree with that.
You'll know who the big boys are coming time January or whatever.
However, take into account the Packers are beat up a little bit.
They are. I'll give them that.
They don't have their star running back if he doesn't play.
I'll throw some cheddar on that.
So there is some things to be said about that. But yeah, if they beat them, that is going to say something.
So moving on there,
statement.
we have the Minnesota Vikings, who seem like that they are fighting for a wild card. They'll probably be in the playoffs, unfortunately. They're heading into San Francisco to play the Niners. -3 line right there. I'm going Vikings +3.
I, too, am going Vikings +3.
They just know how to get it done.
They do. And against the 49ers are iffy this year. I like the 3 on the road, and I even got it marked down as a lock.
I don't know.
I think they're going to beat up on the 49ers.
All right, let me just look at that. Afterwards, we have a matchup of an AFC North divisional rivalries. We have the Cleveland Browns heading into Baltimore. Line is -3.5 for the Ravens. Guru, I'm gonna let you take this one.
This game, these Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Ravens, Browns, whatever mixed in that division, these are always seems like low-scoring, tight games.
Yeah.
Defensive games every time. Any collection of those 4 teams, it's always been like that. But I got the Browns +3.5. I think Baker's going to have a bounce-back game. He's got to, really kind of light it up a little bit because there's been some talk in Cleveland fans. I've heard from some people that the Cleveland fans are getting down on Baker.
Oh yeah, it might. That'll be a topic that we have to discuss soon on the show. But
where they want to run his ass out of town.
Oh yeah, it's looking like that if Baker doesn't fix his act this season and obviously lead them to the playoffs, it's not going to be a pretty sight for him in Cleveland.
The dog pound is not happy, and now however, it is in Baltimore, so it ain't going to be so bad. But you're playing a divisional opponent; they got to win this game.
Oh yeah,
or else when they fly back to Cleveland, the dogs are going to fucking eat them like Michael Vick's backyard.
This game, I mean, as of right now, I have Ravens -3.5. I've been very skeptical about it. I'm making my switch. I'm going Browns +3.5 here. I mean, I feel like because that's the thing that's been going through the back of my head is this a bounce back win? Is this a win that Baker can get, and then for the next week we're living off the interpretation of are the Browns back? Is Baker back, for crying out loud?
Right, because the Ravens are 7-3, 6-5.
Yeah, it's only a game difference.
So they got one game up on them right there because they got a bye week coming up.
Yeah.
So if they catch that 7-5, 7-4, now you're real close.
Oh yeah.
So they need to win this game.
So to round it out, we have the Monday night game, which is a very ugly Monday night game, might I add. We have the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Washington, D.C. exactly, to go up against. Yeah, that's just it. I always forget they don't have a nickname. Washington. They're going up against the fucking football team. Line another half a point.
0.5 line.
0.5 line. I'm going Washington -half a point because at the end of the day, like we alluded to, the Seahawks, they're done. They're fucking toast.
Barstool likes these half-point lines and 1.5s.
Not really. They haven't really had a lot this year.
Well, not the half, but there's
2.5,
1.5.
Oh yeah, in terms of that, agreed.
Who'd you take?
Washington. I just don't like the Seahawks anymore. I hate to say it.
No, I think I think they can handle the Seahawks.
Yeah, and I will admit I do have Taylor Heineke as my. I do have Taylor Heineke as my quarterback in fantasy as Patrick is on a bye week, so I'm expecting big things from him. Expecting big.
You'll probably get him.
I think. Listen, so those were picks. Obviously, that's how it is. But let's just kind of talk about this. Like, what do the Seahawks need? Like, I feel like they need to implode. I feel like you kind of have to. Well, you have to clean shop in a way.
They're 3-7 right now.
But we've never seen them in that position.
I know.
I mean, aside from that one year when they went 9-7, they were just very 500 the whole. They're nothing this year.
No, this is their worst year in. I mean,
the whole Russell Wilson era.
Yeah, what's he in his 13th year?
No, he's been his 9th. This is his 9th.
9th year.
2012. He got drafted the same year as RG3.
Wow, thought it was, yeah. I figured it was. All right, whatever. I'm thinking of a different quarterback or something. But your 9th year, and like you said, that whole career right there, you're playoff contenders, top of your game, always there.
They never missed the playoffs.
Now here comes the year, bam, where your team ain't the team it used to be.
And might I say, I mean, I try to stay away from a lot of sports media shows because I feel like they just try to, get a storyline off just for some views. But I feel like not a lot of people that I've seen, at least, are talking about the Seahawks imploding, kind of falling back to earth.
No, because they're kind of just being forgotten.
Which is wild to think because there is...
like the Seahawks suck, they're having a shit year, and we don't even want to talk about it.
Like, it's weird, though, because granted, they won a Super Bowl, went to 2 back-to-back, but it's like when you look at it...
They gave one away, remember? They gift wrapped it for Tom Brady?
They never gave it away.
The
Pete
fuck
Carroll
they did.
fucked the play call up.
Fuck they didn't.
But when you look at that era of the Seahawks
Yeah, he
and
fucked
stuff...
the play call up and he gave it away. Gave Tom one.
No.
Yeah.
Topic
Yeah.
for another day. We're not getting into that now. But...
Beast mode, 4 downs. I have nothing further, Your Honor.
But at the end of the day, it's like, it's kind of weird to see people just kind of treat the Seahawks as they're nothing. Because I felt like, even when they weren't making, the NFC Championship games or whatever, I feel like they're always a team that you'd always be like, yeah, we'll watch out for them.
They always have been respected. Ever since they drafted Russell Wilson, the 12th man, the whole thing, it's tough to win in Seattle, which it is. But
it goes back to that defense.
You can't, a lot of it is the defense, because you got great receivers. Mm-hmm. Running back, besides Marshawn Lynch in those days, they really have never.
Chris Carson, but he's always injured.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They never had a running back like a horse, how Christian McCaffrey was until he finally got injured.
Yeah.
Okay, Saquon, he got injured early.
Yeah.
They never really had that longevity quarterback like that. So I think that, or running back. So I think that plays a big difference.
Because the receiving core and tight ends have always been somewhat stout, always fine.
Yeah. And so with that defense, that receiving core, you had Russell Wilson, which, he's a magician. Mm-hmm. It all worked. But now, 9 years later, you don't have the team that you had in, 2012 to 2015, those good years. And teams, it's hard to stay on top in that elite group for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
There's only certain teams do it.
Oh, yeah.
But Seattle was one of those teams, and now they're falling off. Now, do I think they'll get back there? Absolutely.
I don't think so. I think it's over.
Well, they might have. What, you think they got to get rid of Russell Wilson?
I mean, it's hard, though, because then he just signed that fat contract like either 1 or 2 years ago.
Right. So you still got him. You still got that good receiving core. You pump up the defense.
Yeah, it goes back to that.
Get in the draft, pump that defense up, snag a decent running back. You might be back where you're at.
I mean, it's hard to see it because I feel like You've
been spoiled with Seattle.
I agree with that, but I feel like me personally, I mean, it's been like, I think it's like my 3rd year kind of saying, when's the time going to happen? Everything's bound to fall at one point in the world.
Right.
But I feel like seeing it now, I feel like it's just, I don't know, hot take here. I don't think people...
Maybe it's because it was a gradual decline a little bit, and now boom, all of a sudden hit the cliff.
It's a steep drop what they just did.
Yeah, this year they just fucking went over the cliff like Grand
Hot
Canyon.
take, Pete Carroll doesn't get fired, but he resigns this season.
No way.
If not this season, after next season.
No.
I don't think they're going to do well next season either.
They like Pete Carroll there, except for the play call.
Pete Carroll, mark my words, he'll be a college.
No, this is a team that you're not going to do a total gut job and revamp it. They just need to put in a few more pieces, and they can get back to where they were.
It depends on what those pieces are, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they got to do it in the draft. They got to beef up that defense.
I don't
Is it
know.
a team that's just a few pieces away from being another playoff team? What's this, the first year they're going to miss the playoffs?
Correct. In that Russell Wilson
In that Russell area. So the first year, here we are, you're not going to make the playoffs. Does that mean you're done, though?
I think so.
I don't.
I just see Seahawks, the way they play their games.
I don't think so.
I mean, they could hardly do anything against Colt McCoy running the show. All respect to Colt McCoy,
Yeah,
though.
but see, it's just the team's in disarray a little bit. Personnel that, like I said, you don't have the players that you used to, and now we're finally seeing it in a bad year. Not we missed the playoffs by a game. We're the next in line for the wild card. You know, one of those years you'd be going, okay.
Yeah, no, yeah.
If they missed getting into playoffs by one game, would we be having this conversation?
No.
Right.
It's just the fact
now they're sitting here at 3-7. We're having this conversation.
Yeah.
So I don't, seeing that it's the first year that they've been this bad, I don't think they're way off from getting back in the playoffs. I think they could add a few pieces. I don't know what their draft capital is, but if they add a few pieces, they can contend again.
I feel like time will only tell with that because I'm not a firm believer right now. I feel like it's too grim in Seattle.
That's good. I just think they're having a shit year. Everybody does it.
It could be.
Look at the Red Wings when they...
That's hockey, though. Hockey's different.
No, but the 25-year streak of the playoffs, and then the first year they didn't make the playoffs.
True.
Did the team give up on them? No. And
it's taken a while.
Yeah, I
was about to say.
It's taken a while for them to get back there.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it pans out. I mean, who knows? The Seahawks could win out, make a fucking wild card slot, make me eat my words.
The Giants.
What about them?
8-8.
I don't know.
Won a Super Bowl. Who would have thought it?
No, they were 9-7 those 2 years. They were never 8-8.
8-8. The one year they were 8-8. They won a Super Bowl. Look it up.
I believe that. Yeah, no, I know.
8-8.
So that's the episode, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 12 of the 5th quarter. Me and Guru. We'll be back next week with John. Make sure to like, subscribe for more. Tell your mom. Tell your mom's mom. Tell your mom's mom's mom. Tell your mom's mom's mom. Tell every mom in the fucking world about this show, ladies and gentlemen.
Hopefully, next week, I am up here looking down on you.
And that's where...
On the pick ladder.
And that's where I'm ending the show, ladies and gentlemen. No slander to the man who's running the show here.
Clawing.
That's the episode. Have a good Thanksgiving, I guess. It's a BS holiday.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Shut up.
It's a glorified dinner with.
Tell that to John Madden when he's eating a turkey leg.
I'll gladly do that to John Madden. Isn't he dead?
Do you think? No, he's still alive. Do you think that? Did he die? No, he didn't. He's still alive.
We'll figure that out.
Did they? All the football games on Thanksgiving, and the turkey.
It's a fraudulent. It's a fraudulent holiday.
Leg.
It's a fraudulent holiday.
Do you think the players think that?
Probably some.
No, they don't.
They just want to play football.
I disagree with this guy. It's a good cultural holiday for America. Don't eat too much turkey. Have fun with your
families.
families.
Thanksgiving, that's what I got to say. Christmas is on the clock. Mariah Carey, all I want for Christmas is you. Have a good one. That's the episode. We're out.